Welcome to another episode of Are You Mad at Me? I guess this is season 2, so that's really exciting. And we decided to kick it off on April Fool's Day because I thought it was kind of the theme of this 2026 for me so far. Of course, Are You Mad at Me has traditionally been about self-publishing and marketing, and I'm really in a headspace that I want to focus on marketing because I'm just interested in it, and I feel like I've been avoiding it for a really long time. And then the universe, as it does sometimes, and the YouTube algorithms and Instagram, thank God. And I'm not religious. I don't know why I say thank God so much, but so the algorithm brought me Amber Petty, and I think. So I have a guest today, and I'm so excited for her to be on the podcast. Amber, thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
I am so happy to be here. Hello. Thank you.
So Amber Petty is a marketing genius, and you're going to love her. Stay tuned. I promise you are absolutely going to love this woman. She's amazing. So the algorithm brought me, I think about 6 weeks ago, you had something online where you said, I can't remember the name of it, but follow me and say that you've just joined this, I think it was a Telegram group.
The Creative Control Club.
Creative Control Group. And like the copy for that post was like, it got my attention because it was, are you sick of being bossed around? Do you want to be in control of your own, whatever? And so I was like, I don't know. And there was a promise that you would share it, that you shared to your story. And I was like, what have I got to lose? And so I did it. I put a little tag over my picture and all that stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I felt like such a moron. And then you reshared it. And I was like, there's this woman out in LA that just like shared my story. And there was these people from high school that liked the post. And I was like, it worked. Like they thought I was doing this big magical, that I just joined this big movement. And I was like, oh my God, it worked. This is amazing. And so then, of course, I was signed up for the emails, and the emails were coming in, and it was all these like cute little nuggets of marketing advice. And then this week you offered a free, like a webinar, like an information session. And I was like, this is magic. And a lot of that stuff kind of gets lost on me sometimes, like unless I put it in my calendar with about 3 reminders. But it was one of those things that, like, this is a confession, but I woke up, so it was at 2:30 Newfoundland time. I woke up at 2:25. And I was like, oh my God, I almost missed it. So I was, I came in hot. So we did this web, and I just absolutely love your vibe. Like how I'm drawn in by how you describe your background, because it's like you definitely know your marketing, but I love your story coming to marketing and how anyway. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to just ask you some questions and let you tell your story, because you're so much better at it than I would ever be. But you're okay. Tell me about the Weirdness Way.
Yeah. So that's what Vickie got to come to, was this session on the Weirdness Way, a free preview. So I come into marketing from a background of doing musical theater and improv comedy. I'd never on earth dreamed marketing would ever be a part of anything I ever did. I hated promoting myself so bad. I had a cabaret show, and I'd be sending like little invites on Facebook, and it would just like tear me up inside every time. I was like, oh my God, that's so annoying, so awful, blah, blah, blah. I hated it terribly. So what happened was I ended up going into freelance writing. I left acting. And through that, I ended up getting into copywriting a little bit and seeing, and it honestly was just from, maybe I could do this. I'll apply for this job. And I told them, I don't have any experience in this, but this is what I do have experience with. Talking to an audience, getting into an audience's headset and storytelling, because that's all the stuff I did as an actor and a writer. Yeah. And I got that full-time job from a random job application. So I got into copywriting a little bit and found, I don't love doing this for other people. Because you often tell me things that are really annoying and the opposite of what you should do. But like, I can do this for myself. Unlike acting, where it felt like, just, hey, hello, hire me. I'm great, I guess, which felt awful. Now it's like, no, I am giving something specific. I am helping people. And now that's true, even if you are a performer or you're selling a book. You don't have to be selling an offer that like teaches people how to make money or whatever. But when you start to realize, hey, I'm actually just presenting people with something that's going to improve their life, whether it makes them laugh for a few minutes, or is a book they get absorbed in, or changes how they think about something, that's really valuable. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just connecting with people, showing them the value, showing them a little bit of what I think and feel and all that kind of stuff. So, so because of that, I've seen marketing from a lot of bizarre sides. And I've found then for creative people, there's just not as much stuff that is marketing geared towards us. And of course, I'm not saying I'm the only person on earth. Obviously not. You see stuff about book marketing all the time. But a lot of the stuff I feel like just kind of gives you kind of boxes to fill and just like, well, just do it though. Hey, you hate posting on social media? Well, get over it. Hey, this anyway. Is an absolute nightmare. And, you know, you would rather stay in bed all day. Well, oops, figure it out. Just follow this template. And, or you get very corporate sounding marketing, which does the same thing, but in a way that sucks even more. So the weirdness way to get to that is just, this is a structure of marketing that, one, instead of making you feel like you got to throw away your creative mind and fit into some kind of marketing scenario, instead, you are bringing your creative mind first and fitting all of your promotion around that. And so in this program, it's about different ways you can enhance that weirdness. I'll talk about weirdness in 1 second. Enhance that weirdness, and then also have some concrete tasks so that you're doing this regularly. So that's where it's kind of like the artist's way, but for marketing, except you don't have to do it every day. So it's like 3 things a week. You do 3 things every week. You do it through the lens of creativity first, weirdness first. And by doing that, you start to see, oh, this is working. I am connecting with people. I'm not fighting with people trying to get them to buy. I'm actually just showcasing this thing. It changes how you think about marketing so that by the end of the month, it's not, oh, Jesus, I got to make this thing again. Yep. It's like, oh, wow, it works. No, I do have ideas. Like, I know what to do and I want to do it. Yep. Wait a minute. Yep. I want to do my marketing. So that's what it is. And weirdness, I think, is my big thing right now, because it's really just like saying be yourself. But saying be yourself, we've all heard that. And we all have many selves. And sometimes it's like, well, what self do you want though? It's hard. Whereas like, if I say be weird, you have a very clear idea of what that is, even if it scares you.
So what is triggering for me is very recently, just last year, at the end of the year, my mom passed away. And I don't know why I'm relating it to this, but a lot of people are like, it's okay. Do you want to talk? Like, however you feel is okay. And it's like, you have no idea what's going on in my head. Like, I promise you, you would not think what I'm thinking is okay or how I'm feeling, because I feel like the first person on the planet that's ever felt this way, and there's no way it's socially acceptable to share what I'm thinking, because it really, but that kind of idea of be yourself is like, if you're this cute girl from school or whatever, like as long as you're adorable, but you be yourself is like, be careful. Can you be Zooey Deschanel? Because she's the weirdest person on the planet, but she has a market. Like, so it's that idea of being yourself is very, I think it needs some qualification there of what do you mean by that? Like, what's okay to be? Because a lot of times people have been themselves and have gotten smacked back for it or tapped on the wrist or whatever. And it's like, but I think that idea of those little sparks that you get, instead of pushing them back down, or even somebody just giving you permission slip and saying, no, that idea that you call crazy, that kind of ran through your brain when someone suggested, think of the craziest thing you can think of, someone giving you permission slip and saying, no, that idea, that's the one, chase that and do that and see what happens. Yeah, exactly. Like, I just did this with a client where I was like, what's your weirdest idea of the next thing you want to do in your business? And she's a therapist and a psychiatrist, actually, and she works with pre-menopausal and menopausal women specifically. Yep. And she's like, I've really wanted to do this like in-person thing where we come together and like wear Lycra and old school workout clothes. And it's not really, we might even do just one push-up and like one jumping jack, but it's really just to like have fun and kind of dress up. And then you can talk about whatever's going on with your body and I can talk about it with you. It's just kind of open. And I was like, that's the best idea I've ever heard. Like, what? Yep. She's like, no, but all the doctors would think that's so stupid and like blah, blah, blah. So anyway, she's doing it. It hasn't happened yet, but like she sent it out to, and it's in person. So it's
not the whole internet. She sent it out to her first just primary list of people, and 12 out of 15 people have already bought tickets for it. And it's still weeks away. Because, of course, why would you not? That's so wonderful and interesting and unique. Yeah. What other doctor's doing that?
I have a friend here in St. John's who runs a dental hygiene clinic. She doesn't do any drilling, filling, nothing like that. She's hygienist only. And she started it because she was so afraid of the dentist. So she doesn't like the smells and the sounds. So her whole thing is like, she was afraid that she got a lot of pushback when she started doing her own marketing. And now she runs a marketing company for 400 companies across Canada, but also a dental hygienist. But she said she was afraid of the feedback that she was getting from other people in the profession who were saying, no, you can't acknowledge that the smells are bad or that the people are scared. And she's making bank. She's doing, but the marketing too, because it's bringing people in and it's doing it like you get this certification and all of a sudden it's like, I need to act like a doctor now. Yes. And it's just not like, so thinking outside of that box and someone giving the permission slip and saying, but you are a doctor, you earned it. You earned this thing that you're able to do and you can market in a different way is like really empowering. Like it's beautiful.
Well, yeah. And it takes marketing from being this thing where we have to just like become bros or become, manipulative. And that's not actually true. And sometimes it's really hard because you see so many examples of that. You start to think, well, I guess I have to do that. I mean, I go through phases where I do that even of course recently, Of course, yeah. So it's hard to dissuade that. And the other part I like about weird is weird also does feel scary because for the same reasons we've been told it's too much, too weird, whatever. The reason I still like it is because if you were ever thought of as weird or picked on as weird, it's because you had something that made you stand out from everybody else naturally. And in school or places like that, that's people are going to crap on you about it, Yeah. But on the internet, you have something that makes you naturally stand out from everybody else. Congratulations, you won the internet. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So now that's why we have a group and stuff for it. Because like, listen, please, if I say be more weird and you're like, holy crap, amazing, I'm doing that forever, wonderful. But sometimes you just like having some accountability along with it helps because you might do something and it doesn't get any response. Or you hear from another coworker or something. I don't think that's a good idea. And it can kind of bring up those like, oh, see, I told you I'm too weird. I'm that person nobody likes. And regardless, I mean, of course you don't have to take my class to do this, but for everybody listening, like that doesn't mean anything. You have to do things multiple times. You have to have some consistency. And I just promise you, and I've seen it from me and everybody I've ever worked with, adding that weirdness never hurts you. It may take a little longer sometimes to find the right people, but once you find them, they are in. Like now they are super interested. And otherwise, you can just blend in with everybody else. And you don't even want, and it doesn't even feel good. Yeah. You're like, ugh, I'm kind of hiding a part of myself, which I don't even like, and I'm not getting any traction. Like, whoa, what a crap ass deal. So that's why I find doing this as a creative person, you just naturally are this way. And like the regular rules aren't made for you and aren't going to help you. Right. Whereas if you kind of remember, hey, what I need to do is show what I do, like let people know what I do and give them an opportunity to buy it. And pick the version of that you will do.
Okay, I want to go back to something you said earlier about your background. You said when you would post on social media, you'd feel really gross. And I call it like a full body cringe. Which I think that's that gap in between the inspiration and the guts to do it, the cringe after it, as soon as you hit post. What do you think? What do you have for that? Because I know there's like anybody can hit post, but I heard a guy at an open mic last night who wanted to be a musician. He got up, he was absolutely brilliant. And someone said, how can we find you online? He said, oh, I deleted everything I've ever put online musically. because he actually went back and deleted his stuff. So that cringe that happens to creative people, and I know it's universal, the cringe like that going inside, especially when you've been a creative, you've done theater, you've been vulnerable. Not trying to erase it after you post it, I think is the hardest for a lot of creative people. So do you think is the structure of your workshop, of your course, does it kind of soothe that a little bit? Or does it, like the team part of it where everybody's doing the same sort of stuff? Like, do they meet each other? How do you help with that?
Totally. That's a question I had not thought about at all. So I actually, in the course itself, I don't talk about any social media stuff. You could not use social media at all, but you also can use social media. And regardless, there's always things that are scary and all of that. So that's kind of, it's not like a separate thing, but it's kind of constantly interwoven. So part of with the coaching that comes up, that's where people can ask questions and things like that, because it is inevitable whether you want to erase it or whether you are just too scared to post
or try again.
That's going to happen. So there's space in the calls and in a Telegram group, like an extra group, where you can talk about that stuff. So a lot of times when people do that, what I have them do is, okay, well, if the idea feels too scary, what is it? Tell it to us right now. Because it's not as scary. It's never a scary group. People aren't allowed to give you critical notes. Like, I'm the only person that gives feedback, and I give it from a this is good, let's make it better standpoint. If anybody was like, actually that idea, I'd be like, nobody asked you.
Stay in your lane.
No. So
but everybody's so vulnerable in the group.
But because of that, people are very extra understanding and supportive.
Right. Because they're in the trench with you.
Exactly. They see you doing this, and it also helps them because they see you. Maybe you say one of those ideas. You're like, oh, I don't know, this is too crazy. I just want to do this just hygienist part. And then everybody's like, what's crazy about that? Right. That doesn't read to me as crazy at all. Yeah, and then they get to feel, oh, hey, remember 2 seconds ago in my head when I was thinking my idea is way too weird, way too awful? Yeah. It probably isn't. So a lot of it is just like, say it out loud. Also, if you're doing this on your own, like write it out, write it down physically. Because sometimes when you actually read it, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. This actually isn't bad at all. Or say it to select people. So this is not necessarily a thing to share with everybody, and do not go around your whole family and friends for approval. That is never the way to go, because are those people in your audience? Are those the people that would buy from you? No. And even if they have good intentions, they can sometimes give feedback that's not helpful at all. So if you have a friend or if you have a partner or something who can just listen, and it doesn't come at you with some kind of critical thing every single time, then maybe tell it to them, and then they'll go, oh, and now that's a maybe. I would say first, just write it down. If you're on your own, just write it down and look at it. So that's one thing for the after post. I think that's a funny thing from theater and improv, where you can't take it back. It's like it's out there. So I've been a little more. That's an easier thing for me personally, but. I mean, that is a good rule, I would say, to give yourself, of do not delete anything unless it had a very offensive word in it by accident. You had a text, an edit, and you're like, oh my God, that's not what I said. You can delete it. Do not delete anything, because nobody cares that much. And that's the good and the bad of, if you put something out there and it doesn't really work, nobody's going back to see it and judge it. It's just, it is as good as gone. And even though social media feels like it's a real-time thing of, oh, I'm seeing people like it, I'm seeing it get good results, you're seeing the tiniest little piece of the results. Like, there's always people that are like, I love your social media. And I'd be like, I had no idea you even followed me. I kind of forget people see it. So I would just say maybe make that a rule just for 1 month of like, you won't delete anything, because you never need to. You never need to. And if anything, you'll look back a year from now and look at that old post and be like, holy shit, look how nervous I was.
Yep.
And that's not how I feel today. And that alone is like worth keeping it there for.
I think approaching it too with that you're going to try a whole bunch of stuff. Like if you take the course, for example, in that month, you're going to do 3 times a week, but it's like they're all kind of experimental. It's just to see how it goes.
It's all experiments. And I think that's a good attitude to take for all of your marketing.
Life. It's all an experiment.
Yeah, truly.
Everything we do is marketing. It's all trying to make people think a certain way about us. But like, I think when you get into sales and trying to be successful at a creative thing, there's that level of, I couldn't possibly ask money for what I'm good at. And it's really putting a price tag on it and then sticking with it. And that when I send an email with a quote, I literally dance around the kitchen like this going, and I ask my husband to burn my phone because I'm so afraid of the reaction. I hate that I just shared that, but that's really true. When we send out a quote, it's like, we asked for too much. There's no way. And then it's ping. The right customers, the right clients are like, absolutely. I thought it'd be more. The ones who are the tire kickers are like, ugh. And like, great, let's get this out of the way right now. I'm not the right person for you.
Yes,
and it does get easier. It gets a little easier.
It does this stuff all gets easier.
And money helps.
All gets easier.
Money
helps.
Yes. It really does soften the blow, doesn't it?
It does soften the blow because it's nice making money. And I think that if there's a part of you that's like, well, but I would do this for free anyway, and I'm doing it just because I love it. Like, I don't know. Actually, respectfully, you're not, because then you would just post it for free on the internet and not care and write whatever you want and put it in a journal. Right. I'm not saying money's your number one concern, because then, don't write books. If that's your absolute number one, go make some AI piece of crap and sell it to a big company if money's all you care about.
Right.
But you want people to enjoy it. You want people to see it. You want people to be moved or changed by it. And if people pay money for it, whatever it is, they will enjoy it more. They will take it more seriously because they've invested. Yeah. Right. And whether that investment's $5 or $5,000, $50,000, that's just part of the exchange. Yeah. And it's okay. It is okay to want that. And remember, you buy stuff all the time. And if you don't, somebody does. Right. I know things are not economically great right now, but I just saw a thing about a business where a woman is, she sells custom like wax seals and just made her first $1 million.
What's a wax seal?
Like a wax, like old, like old envelopes, and then you like take wax to seal it and like, it's like a kind of old fashioned like way to fancily like seal an envelope. Like Yeah, it looks like the cover of The Secret.
She made $1 million?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Because you never know and think of any of I've spent money on real silly stuff and loved it and totally enjoyed it. Yeah. And spent stuff that like made my life infinitely better by having it. So I
think ultimately we're all walking through the world looking for connection, and you want to feel like you have an impact. And when you find something that you actually love doing, there's a certain guilt that goes along with it that like, I couldn't possibly charge people for this because for whatever reason, but like money is just energy. It's an exchange of an idea it's just currency that I can go buy food with or pay rent or whatever. And then I'm able to do more fun stuff. Like it's kind of I think there's an adjustment that I still need to make in my head that it's okay to make money and it's okay to make like to be rewarded and not rewarded. What's the word?
It's even like compensated fairly
because my background is I have associate's degrees in psychology and marketing and business marketing, sports business marketing. And I have a master's in adult education. It's all exactly the same thing. It's all 100% the same. I could have saved myself so much time, but it was all exactly the same thing. If I teach somebody how to crochet and she's, let's say she's in a bad relationship and she can't get out of it, but she learns how to crochet and she meets other women there who will help her escape, or she starts selling hats and she makes a living and can get out of a bad relationship, or someone that's thinking about, they don't want to be here anymore, but they find a thing that you are teaching them to do that gives them a purpose again. Like you can really change somebody's life by by enriching it and share and empowering somebody to do a thing they didn't know how to do before. So the service, how do you put a price tag? Entertaining someone. If I can put a play on and people laugh for 10 minutes, or I do a stand-up comedy set for 5 minutes, or that I sing a song for 3 minutes, if I've improved if I've raised their frequency even a little bit, that's amazing. And yes, I would do it for free, but it's really, really nice to get paid. Like that's...
Yeah. And you get paid because you deserve to be paid. Like it's not... And again, like now I'm not saying, oh, good, then I'll charge for every single thing I do with super high rates. And it's like, no, we're existing in the real world. But it's that double thing sometimes where I think where creatives will be like, yeah, I want to write a book. It'll be a bestseller. Of course, my book is better than this book, that book. And then you have to go and like put it out yourself. And it's like, yeah, but nobody's going to read this book. And it's like you believe both things at the same time. Yeah. And so sometimes there is you're good enough for this. There's an audience there. And sometimes we train that part of us to like be quiet because it feels rude and it feels arrogant and, oh, shouldn't it be hard? Because it's always hard for writers. And, and it's like, I guarantee anybody listening to this, none of you are going to become Elon Musk or some like complete idiot who has no sense of themselves and is an arrogant fool.
Yeah, you're not going to change. It's not going to change who you are.
No. Not on the cards. And in fact, when you say the braggiest thing you could imagine, somebody will just go, oh, that sounds good. They won't go, oh my God, can you believe her?
Unless you go to a family reunion.
Really nice.
Unless you're at a family reunion.
If it's a family, then it's different. But for everybody else,
I found this guy from, his name is Chris Miller. He's from, he's Denmark, I think, on the internet. And he does these like not motivational, but he does this like how to manifest videos. And I just love him. I've seen so many of them. But he's just got this, he put this thing in one of his videos recently, and he said, anytime you have a new idea, anytime you go back to old you to ask permission, old you is going to say absolutely not. But if you can possibly talk to future you is going to go, yeah, that's how I got where I am. This is like exactly the path you need to take. But anytime you go back to your old beliefs and your old ways of doing things, you're never going to get agreement from that part of you ever, because it's just so scary to venture out and try new things. And I think it gets harder as you get older to try new things. And I want to go back to the lady, the doctor with the menopause group.
Yeah.
There's a brand new show in Canada called Small Achievable Goals, and it's got 2 seasons, and it's all, I would never, first of all, I had a little bit of an issue in my own real self versus ideal self. I didn't consider myself to be premenopausal or even in the age bracket, but I really liked one of the ladies who wrote it. And so I started writing it. I started watching it, and I was going, oh my God, I have that symptom. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I couldn't look away. And it was all about these 2 women who are different stages, but it's the funniest show and the most informative. I learned so much about my body from a comedy show, but they had to pitch that. Like they had to acknowledge these are happening, things are happening. It's embarrassing. And they pitched that show and got massive funding. And now they've got this like national broadcaster carrying it, and it's teaching women. How many women are out there just dying to hear that there's other people out there experiencing it. So that lady, the doctor who started that group, like I hope she goes online. Sign me up. I would be in that group in a heartbeat to talk to other women who are experiencing the same stuff, and to be in a safe room, because you can't post on Instagram. You could.
You could, but it doesn't feel the same.
You're not going to get your community that way at all. No. So when someone like offers that service, and I say this, I've learned this a lot with parents, like to say to somebody, like when my kids want something, I will turn hell upside down to make sure they get it. Like it's just, if they like Pokemon cards, if they like Thomas the Train Engines, if they like whatever, if they like pizza, we're going across town on the bus to get a pizza. It's just that people find money for the things that they want. It's just, it's just human nature. They find it, they find the resources. And to say, I can't afford it or I can't do that right now, you're not my people. This is not the right time. Maybe later. It's just such a, people find the money.
People find the money, and you will hear from the people that don't have the money. You're always going to hear from them more. And that's okay. That's not that they're bad or it's not making a judgment on those people. It's that you cannot assume that everyone is that person. There's a whole we do not, even with social media, we still don't have a grasp of how many people there are and how many things people see and how like we just still, I think humans can't comprehend it all the way, or I certainly can't at least. So again, it's you just remind yourself why you're doing it. And this is very cliched advice, but why are you doing it and how is it helpful to people? And I find sometimes focusing a little bit on that helpfulness can take the pressure off you, because then it's less about read my writing, my idea is so good, pay me money, which can feel just like awful. Instead, it's, oh, you you have nobody to talk to about these symptoms that are happening. Well, I actually went through a whole bunch of stuff with that. I would like to give you a place where you can talk about it. Great. That feels a little different because you're focusing on the person and what they get out of it. And that's true if it's even a novel. You know, it's just like, you don't need to doom scroll. Do you what did I see? It was just something like, gosh, I can't, it was something very simple, but even I bought a pack of books basically because they're like, these are set in Scotland and they're fun. And I was like, that's all I needed to know. Another was like a witch in Cornwall. I was like, done and done.
It's such a funny idea to me that there are people out there right now manifesting you, that what you have, someone's out there wishing. And I say sometimes, there's like little sparks. Like if people knew that you and I were talking, you're in LA and I'm in St. John's, Newfoundland, we couldn't be further apart.
Very far apart.
I think there are people in the universe on this planet right now going, oh, there's something going on. There's something, oh boy. Those two people met, they're talking to each other. Oh, shit. Like, it's like, so I think there's something to that are like, there's little sparks sometimes that kind of ignite, and it's kind of a magical thing. So I want to get back to the course that you're offering. And I know one of the things that happened in the course was you talked a lot about writers that you've helped. And I thought it was such a unique thing because writers are, so a lot of my self-publishing clients are people who have small businesses, and it's a way to, like, you can do a mini book where you can do 50 pages of your expertise, and instead of a business card, you can. And I know there's this concept that if you give it away for free, you'll lose the client, and that's not. I don't
think that's true either
at all. The stuff that comes out in your emails every day, the stuff you share on social media, is plenty to just get yourself started. If you want to invest in yourself and actually pay money, because you can find money for everything else. If you're a writer that hasn't gotten the sales that you thought it might, or like you just feel like really deep down this book should have done better, you can invest. And having somebody to be accountable to, I need it. Like, I can coach other people, but I need somebody to check in with and say, did you do this week? Or knowing that you have a meeting coming up, you're going to do the work.
You're going to do it.
You're going to be accountable. And so that accountability group is really, really valuable. So I just completely lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. You talked about writers, so there's a lot of, this is something I love. I'm going to say this lady's name, Jennifer Maker. She's a Cricut whiz. You know, the Cricut machines. So
yes. I thought you were talking about the sport first, but yes, Cricut the machines.
Cricut the machines. There's this lady online who, if you are trying to figure out how to do something with Cricut, she's the first person that followed it. But she has this newsletter where she'll send out these very gentle emails, and she'll give you a free pattern every week and all this stuff. And she has tutorials, work-alongs, all that. But at the bottom of her thing, out of her email, she'll say, I completely understand if you can't afford this right now. I will offer it again. So don't even worry. And it's like, oh, I love her. And like Chris Miller. Chris Miller does one-on-one consulting. He's very expensive, but he does these amazing free videos. So you watch him for 15 or 20 minutes and he'll pop in every video. And if you want to work with me, he's gorgeous. I mean, I would, if I got $1 million tomorrow, I would work. I just want to
go into him.
Oh, he can have every penny. I would sign up for anything he was doing. But it's like, but he pops it into his videos, and it's like, I almost cringe at that. But like, no, he does have a business, and I would like to work with him directly. So I'm really glad he's putting that in there. And I know at the bottom of every video, he's got a link in there, and it's the same at the bottom of your emails. Here's how to sign up for my course. Like, because as you said, the rules, what are the 2 rules of marketing that you tell people?
Yeah. It's gives people a chance to see what you do and give them a chance to buy it.
And if you don't, because I know that's something missing from most of my social media. And I want to point out too that you say social media is not even necessary. You don't need to be posting it. You can, but it's not a necessary part of marketing.
It's not required. Yeah.
Right. But I know most of the stuff that I've posted in my lifetime, it's always been, don't post it. Don't post a link. Don't say it's available, because that's gross. But you could tell, but it's like people, I feel like sometimes come to me and they want to support what I'm doing, and they don't know how.
And they literally don't know how. I mean, it happens so much where if you don't tell, and it's not about treating people like they're dumb or anything like that. People are busy. There are many things to see and do constantly.
You're bombarded.
So when you just say, hey, sign up here, if they're interested in signing up, they're going to go, oh, great. That's how I sign up. Oh, I want that link. Comment below. Okay, I can call. We're just making it easy for them. And I think that's a great thing where you say, there's the idea that sales is like, hey, idiots, give me your money right now. Oh, what are you, stupid? Oh, you're not going to buy this? That is not sales. And yes, we have been sold to that way in various ways.
Yep.
That is not how you have to do sales. Sales is just, hey, you probably have this question about the course. I'm going to answer it before you ask. Hey, I'm going to describe the feeling you or other clients have had when you finish this. I'm going to describe that for you. Or I'm going to tell a story that illustrates it.
Yeah.
So that you understand it a little differently. I'm going to show what other people have said about it.
Yeah.
And if people don't want it, they unsubscribe, and that's totally okay. And if they don't want it, that's fine. You're not saying, and you don't have to, because some people put a lot of pressure, and I give the pressure of, okay, like, the time is up soon, like the class is starting or the sale is over, because that helps people just decide.
Right.
But it's not forcing anybody. And if somebody came to me and was like, why are you forcing me to buy, or like, why are you forcing me to pay attention to this? I would just be like, unsubscribe them. Right. And like, something's going on in their day that's bad. It's nothing to do with you. And people do email me and are like, why are you emailing me so much? And I'm just unsubscribe them. It's like, the solution was right there. I have now unsubscribed you. Problem solved. You've had 1,000 things worse in your day than a slightly annoying email.
Okay, I have a question about that. When you say I just unsubscribe them, do you mean you do what when they've asked to unsubscribe, or do you just disengage when somebody is going after you like that?
So if somebody asks to unsubscribe, I unsubscribe them. Of course. And then usually, because again, they can unsubscribe automatically. They don't have to email me. But if they didn't know, that's okay. I make sure I do that. And I usually don't write anything back, because I'm just kind of like, you don't want to hear from me. So like, I'm not going to write you back, but but it depends. Sometimes people say, like, I don't know, some people feel like they want just to make sure. And then I'll just say, okay, you're unsubscribed. Okay. Now, if people are rude to me, I just take them off my list and I do not write them back.
Okay.
Because I don't care. This is like, it's my party, and I will take you out of it if I want to. But it doesn't happen that much, but that's only if people are like, if somebody is like, hey, I didn't like how you said that, or like, oh, maybe you made a mistake. I don't take those people off. I respond to them. Or, hey, why is this so expensive? Like, I've had people ask me that before, and then I'll say, like, this is why. And a lot of them have bought a course afterwards.
Because it's an objection. It's an objection.
Because they literally were asking.
Yeah.
And
it's the sales process. Is like, I think I saw a video from some old timer on Instagram just the other day, and there's a lot of steps to selling and to the purchasing process. Someone is scoping out their options. Sometimes they're not even aware that they need something, but once they become aware that they need it, like a VCR is what we did when I did marketing school. If their VCR is working, they don't want a VCR. But if the one they're using starts eating their this is old timey. This is so age. I'm revealing my age. But like, there's a stage where they're going to Best Buy to scope out what the prices are. That's not when to sell to them. They're not going to leave with a VCR. But when they make the decision, they might go home and buy it online. They might make it, but the purchasing decision, there's a small window there of when they're ready to buy, and that's also when their objections come up. So if you're selling a house or selling a book, there's an objection of, why is this so expensive? Why can't I get this somewhere else? Why should I buy from you? And that's when you shine. Like the rest of them, answering those objections is part of the sales process, and it can feel like an attack as a creative, as an artist. It can feel like, oh, you don't think I'm worth this? Like, no. If you can get past that for just a minute, they might want it. Now, they might be just having a bad day and they wanted someone to yell at. That's possible too.
Yeah. But treating those questions like, all right, let me answer you.
Absolutely. And it gets it in your head too. It clarifies for you that this is why it's so much, because I'm charging way less than the guy down the street. I got scammed by this person years ago who charged me this much. Like, I'm actually a good bargain, or I'm a lot of good value for what I offer, or because there's a lot of reasons why you have set the price that you've set. And so sometimes saying that out loud is a positive thing. And they might not buy from you, but they might say to someone who mentions, hey, I haven't had the sales that I want, or my company's about to go under, or I'm not getting any consulting clients, or my books aren't selling. Actually, I just talked to this lady who was very kind to me, who is offering this course, and I'm not ready for it, but this would be perfect. Like, so the word of mouth really, when you treat people with respect along the way, the word of mouth happens. They don't necessarily have to buy from you, particularly. Like,
even if they don't buy, at least they went, oh, wow, like she actually took the time to respond. You become a human to them. And so that also makes a difference. Yeah. And so... And I don't get a lot of rude. I really don't get a lot of rude stuff. I mean, some people get more and less. You're always going to get some, but of course. I still don't get that much. And that kind of stuff gets way easier to deal with over time. And so I think even coming back to like, ooh, the cringe after the post, ooh, the cringe when you give the price, ooh, the cringe. Yeah. I think the part of it is, don't be scared of the cringe. Like, just understand that's going to be there for a while. You can't avoid it. Because the first times you put yourself out there more, the first times you put a number to what you do, because I was like, I'm coming from acting and freelance writing. I know how to be rejected. This is going to be easy. And then when I had to put a price on my stuff, I mean, I did feel like I was going to people's homes and like taking their bottles out of their babies' mouths. I was like, I need this money. It's I was like, it felt that dramatic to me. But I went, okay, why is the price this? Okay, it does make sense. Right. Okay, who am I talking to? Am I really going to their house and taking food out of their baby's mouth? No, I'm sending an email with an option to buy something and why that would be helpful to them. So I had to remind myself of that stuff, and I felt super uncomfortable. So it's not avoiding the feeling. It's just not letting the feeling stop the action. Okay. Because you'll feel cringe. You'll feel weird.
Does it get easier?
Yes.
Okay. How long does that take?
It depends. Like, I'll have waves sometimes where I will suddenly be like, oh my God, everything's too expensive and blah, 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 you know? But it's not that same, it's never the same intensity of when I started.
Okay. That's good.
It's never the same intensity of when I started. It's more just then like doubts, as opposed to that like absolute physical feeling of like my chest tightening up, you know? So it absolutely does get easier. And also, if you're a writer, like, you've gone through writer's block, you've gone through people telling you, well, why write a book? And if you're an entrepreneur writing a book, you've gone through all this too. We've all gone through all of this stuff that's just as hard or harder. Yep. So it's remembering, I have done all of this type of stuff in a different way.
Nobody's starting from scratch, and most of the groundwork is done because someone probably has a product or a course or a book that they're selling. So it's more of trying to get back up after falling on your face over and over again. That's like, what if I get up again though? I don't want to fall down because I know how bad it feels. And that's kind of like, I want something, not a guarantee exactly, but like a safer space to, is it going to be okay to be me if I get back up and if I try again? Or should I start brand new, which is a big, like, midlife crisis age. And we do that now multiple times in our lifetime. So it's not just around 45 or 50. No. It's a lot of times. And I think that's the sweet spot of being a human being, and not that bro energy of let's crush it. Let's let's get up, and even if you're depressed, do it anyway. Like, no.
It's like you ride with your energy, and it's a teeny bit of, is there one step you could take?
Yes, one tiny step.
Because it's less about, oh, you got to crush it. You got to do it the same way. You got to do it like this. No, it's like what we want to try to do, or what I try to do in all my stuff is like, I kind of do things fast because it helps you like outrun perfectionism and worrying. Yeah. And it's not that I would need you to write fast or produce a million things. It's like, let's see if we can cut down the time we're just doubting ourselves, second guessing things, and worrying about what people are going to say. Let's cut that time down, which is easier to do when you're in a group or have somebody help you. So then when that time is cut down, half the time you see, oh, this marketing stuff actually doesn't even take that long.
Yep.
Or this one took a long time, but now I know how to do it. So this one's,
Yeah.
or, well, at least I learned I hated doing that. I'm not going to do it again. So now it condenses time so much, because the only real waste of time that we can't help is how much we worry about
Yep.
how it's all going to go.
Yep.
And so that's what I try to do the most. And of course, we're still going to worry. And I'm not a person who's like, yeah, you get to a point where you don't even care about what anybody thinks. Like, I care what people think. I still get hurt. The only difference is I know that hurt's not going to last forever. I know that hurt doesn't actually mean anything about me. Or if it does, then I make a change.
Yep.
And I know that what will make the hurt go away faster is making the next step. What's the next little thing I can do?
So I saw, I don't know if it was an email or a post from you in the past few weeks, and you said, you said you had a background in theater and musical theater and improv, which is close to my heart. And you were talking about marketing, but you said, I decided to make marketing my art, or make it part of, and I was like, oh, I loved marketing before. I was trying to sell my own stuff. I could sell anybody anything. And I was like, that could be part of the creative. Like, it just broke my mind open. Like, oh, wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
I've done those things too. And like you said in your workshop a couple of days ago, that you wrote a song about something. I was like, I've done that too. And it was fun, but did it get me any sales? I didn't have the structure in my mind about, what are you doing? And can somebody, like, did you tell anybody they could buy it? Like, so yes, I made a funny song, but I wasn't selling anything. And like, so having that direction right now, I do have products and I do have courses and I do have these things. And so I was really, really curious about how you help, I want to take that moment. I want to go back and acknowledge that you actually said, I made marketing part of my creative art. And it was like, it blew my mind. So is that something that came as an inspiration thought, or was it like, how much did you think about that line before you said it?
Well, you know what? That one, certain lines just pop up, certain lines absolutely don't. And I think that one was just like a thing over time that I even noticed, where one day, this was a couple years ago, where I was like, oh, okay, I got to do some sales emails. Oh, I wish I didn't have to do marketing. And then I went, no, I don't. I was like, I like doing this. And I noticed myself being like, it's fun to write emails. And then I just noticed, I kind of did it by accident, and then noticed, oh, that's what's missing. That's what's missing. Yep. It's making it this creative thing. And I think even I was working with a coach who kind of pointed that out to me, actually. And I was like, oh yeah, that's that kind of, so that was sort of a collaborative thing that came together.
I loved it. So I read The Artist, I think I read The Artist Way about 6 or 7 years ago, and I've been writing morning pages every single day and into The Artist Date, and it opened my heart. It just, it works. But I will tell you that line made it into my morning pages of, this lady on the internet said that she made marketing. I love marketing. Before it became so serious, I loved it. I loved commercials. I love sales. I love watching the process happen. And it was like, when did I start hating it? Like, probably social media. When I decided, like, so my first book, to give you a background, my first book was very sad. It was about my mental health. We lost a baby. It was very sad. And then the next one was funny. I wanted to try comedy writing, and it was called How to Fail at Documentary Filmmaking, about a TV show that got rejected. And it was during the pandemic, and it was crushing. But when I got to a part in my life where it was funny, I wrote it, and it was a bestseller, and it was great. And then the next book was How to Be a Famous Sexy Writer. And I get it. Like, I'll give you the background on that. I have this person in my life who I went on one date with in my 20s. He's a rotational worker. That's a big deal here in Canada. There's a lot of rotational workers. And so they go off and they make a bunch of money, and they come back and they're the family man, family person. I don't know about the other genders, but the dudes come home and it's just a small fraction of them. But anyway, this guy keeps sending me these pictures of himself. He's happily married. He's got kids. I've written a song about him. I've done a comedy set about him, and I put him in the book. But he said one time, just to flirt with me, he said, I feel like I'm talking to a famous, sexy musician, which is funny. So I called myself a famous, sexy writer. Yeah. And like, that made me, my mom, bless her soul, was so embarrassed, because I put a picture of myself, on the cover with nothing, like, I'm topless. I mean, my hair is covered.
Very tastefully so.
And there's a little map, a little pewter pin with a map of Newfoundland, and my husband did the graphic design, so you can't see anything. But I know my family was mortified. And I get it. Like, when I'm at the mall at a book signing, I get that people go, her? Famous sexy writer? Really? Like, I made it up based on a funny story, and I'm just I'm leaning into the cringe. Like, do you want to be a famous sexy writer? Because we all do. All the writers want to be Stephen King, I think. They want the letter from the publisher. They want the book tour. They want the book signings with the line about they want to be that person that's like, what does she eat for breakfast today? Oh, she's so brilliant. Like, we all want, I think that's the common
And it's
dream.
okay to like want that. Because for a long time I was like, I want to be known, but not that known. And it's okay if I just want, and it's like, you know what? No, I want to be known for what I do and have, and ideally, yes, lines of people want to come and see it and buy it. Quite frankly, that is what I want. And if you're out there and that's not what you want, then like, don't take my classes. Like,
it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And I have this story in one of the books. And it's about, I think it's in the second one, and it's about, I found this yellow cotton sweater at the mall, and I didn't buy it. And for weeks, I was like, I should have bought it. And the day that I decided, you know what? I don't care if it was full price. I'm going back and getting it. And on the way to the mall, I swear, every car on the road next to me, I was like, I bet you want that yellow sweater, don't you? Because once you decide what you want, it feels like everybody must want the same thing. And so the writing thing, this is one of the shifts that I've had in my life. I'd never had the courage to send a letter to a publishing house and ask them to publish my book. I was so terrified that they'd reject it. So when I found self-publishing, what I've been battling for, I guess, 7 years since I put out my first book, has been, you didn't really publish. You're not really an author because it's self-published. And my radio show, my podcast, nobody's asking me to make these podcasts. There's no broadcaster tapping on my door saying, where's the content? Like, it's all self-indie stuff. Does that count? And so I'm still struggling with that myself, but what I'm able to offer other people is numbers. Like, a publisher they give you 5% of your cover price. Self-publishing is between 30 and 90% of your cover price. You can write whatever you want in your own book. Like, that world of self-publishing becomes your business card. And now there's lots of creative stuff. You can do a memoir and all that stuff too, but when you make it your business, like, I have two things that I want to tell you about self-publishing. Before we get to the end of the podcast, we've been talking for an hour already.
Oh, wow.
But there was, if I would suggest to you that you do it, like that hour-long workshop that we did the other day, that you did completely for free. And there was people from around the world. I don't know how you did it. I mean, they were from everywhere.
Around the world,
Amazing reach. Absolutely amazing. And, oh boy, it'll come back to me. I would, if I were you, I would transcribe everything you said in that meeting. That's 50 pages. I mean, clean it up a little tiny bit to make chapters.
Oh, sure.
But if that ever crossed your mind, like, so much of the work is already done because what you say and your talking points are so solid, and it's like passive income. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because you mentioned that when you were 7 years old. Can you tell us about the book you wrote when you were 7?
Oh, so I talk sometimes about getting back to that's why I just say 7-year-old self, but the kid self where you naturally want to share stuff. Because if you've ever been creative, and even if you're not now, as a kid, you were like, look at what I did. Oh my God, this is, you have no doubt. There's no part of you that's like, oh, the fridge is already kind of full. I don't know if I should color another picture for my mom. The proportions were a little, it's just like, this is amazing. Look, everybody look, stop, everybody stop, listen to me. Look at what that attitude still lives within us. Oh yeah. So when I was 7, I wrote this book of poems and I illustrated it all. And I was like, try to get this published, Mom. And I wrote she's only 7 years old. People be like, this wasn't a mature adult woman.
I love that.
And just not, and then just not a doubt in my mind. And then the fact that I didn't get published, I didn't even care. I was like, it's good. I know it could have been. I'm sure we just didn't. Maybe it was just the wrong season. It just didn't, didn't matter at all. And trust me, that is not how I've spent a lot of the rest of my life. I have to go back to that,
If you still have access to that book, please email it to me. I will show you step by step how to do it. for free. For being on the podcast, I'll send a book right to your house just because it's step by step, like literally.
Oh, yeah.
I've had some people get in touch and say, really, that's it. I'm going to publish my book now. I hope they aren't watching this, but, I'm going to publish my book and I don't care how much you cost. That's it. And it's like, well, here's the price. And they go, oof. And I go, you know what? The book is $19 and it'll show you step by step how to do it. And you'll have a book in your hands in 30 days. And they have gone, unfortunately for my bank account, they went ahead and published their books. But they're thanking me on social media. Like they're giving me testimonials. But like the book is step by step because I took 3 years of work and put it into 60, 70 pages where you step by step follow with your own manuscript. So it is super easy. And then as soon as I hit publish on that book, I had only published on Amazon up to then. That was my third book. And as the week after I published it, I found out how to publish on Barnes & Noble and Drafted Digital and put it in all the libraries around the world. Like it exploded. Apple Books, Google Play Books, Etsy. Yeah. It's all the platforms. And you can you put out an ebook and you can get 90% of your cover price. And it's a way to find you. It's a way to it's another way to share your heart with the world. And so I'm going to put a little bug in your ear that I think you should, if you can find that book of poems from 7-year-old you.
Oh, I wonder. I totally would. I wonder if I could find it.
Do 7-year-old you a favor and publish her book because she's still in there going, I got a lot of ideas in here, Amber. I would tell you lots of fun things if you didn't publish my book though.
Nope. And that's true.
But I think it'd be brilliant.
That's exactly true.
But
now I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Did you feel bad talking about what you do and selling your book right now?
No.
Good.
No, because I was talking about your 7-year-old self, and I was like, okay, so let me revisit that. Yes, every single time I mention anything that I'm doing, I felt like I'm wasting her time. She knows I'm marketing right now on my podcast. She knows I'm doing the sales thing. So yeah, there's still a twinge
That's okay.
A twinge of like ick, but people are listening and they're sharing the podcast.
But what happened? Yeah, but what happened was I went, I definitely need that book. I didn't think, oh my God, can you believe she's talking about her book? Instead, I felt like, because sometimes I'm like, your book. Okay, well, if it's just the steps of like how to get it on Amazon, I don't think I need that. Right. But it's like, no, it's all the things.
All the platforms.
Oh, that would save me hours of my life.
Yeah.
So just an example for everybody.
Thank you.
It can feel awkward. I'm not saying, because it's just like embrace that awkwardness a little. But I guarantee the people listening, if they had a real problem with it, quit listening to any... Go away. But if most likely they went, okay. Oh, yeah. Right. No, I heard about her. I know about her book, but that's I can see that now. Oh, I didn't even think I could do it about, oh my God, a childhood book I wrote. Yeah. That would be so amazing to put, so like, it's a good example for everybody of how selling is not selfish. So it actually helps everyone.
Well, that's it. That is a service. And I read somewhere after my first book, which was really helpful for moms who had lost babies, which is super depressing and sad. Yes. Like I wrote a song about how hard it was to sell that because nobody wants to read about cremation. And it's a joke in a song, but the book is very serious. And it helped a lot of women who went through the same things and had the same thoughts after. And 50% of marriages break up after a loss. But how to market that and make it seem like you're making money off this story. But when I had it reframed to me, how many women missed out on the help that could have provided because I was afraid of sharing it. Like it is a service. It's a service. And so telling about the failure at the film stuff, it's funny. It laughs at myself. And like how many women filmmakers especially are going to read that and go, it is hard for women. It is hard to be rejected. You do go to bed for weeks at a time when Alan Doyle rejects your request to be on the show. Like it's the human, when I can talk about it as a third, like as a client, if I was talking about me as a client, like, I care about her. I want her to succeed. That little girl in her that wanted to be a writer, this has given her a voice. And so that, like, when I heard you talk about the book of poems, my heart just went, that's the sweetest thing I've ever... She's only 7, killed me. Like, so we're in a lot of homeschool groups. And so a lot of parents in the homeschool, they have a lot of kids who are super creative and they want to write and publish. And a lot of moms are like, I couldn't possibly. I don't know the first thing about self-publishing. But so what I did with that book, it has everything in there about a paperback and an ebook. and a little bit of marketing. So there's a whole 5 or 6 chapters. So there's like a tear out page on all of them. And I don't have the stuff in there about the other platforms. That's just a quick email to you to tell you what to do with the files that you make for Amazon will easily go to the other platforms. I didn't know that. So that book I turned into 3 mini books. So they got these little brown paper covers. I don't know if we have any in here, but so my husband's a graphic designer. He just graduated last year. And we're also musicians, and we homeschool, and we're all kinds of creative things. Yeah. But one of the books was a bare bones guide to self-publishing paperbacks, a bare bones guide. So I turned one book into 3 books, and then I expanded them into pages. So because learning is hard, so I made coloring books. So after each chapter, there's a coloring page. And I'll tell you, they sold zero copies. There's no reviews on any of the platforms, but they're available. So these are the bare bones guides. And so there's a price point. Like the one with all of it is $19 on Amazon, but the bare bones guides are $8, or the ebook is $5. And I actually had a lady on a writing group who couldn't afford the $5 ebook. And she was like, late in her life, she was a single mom. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to send you a book for free. But what happened was she started messaging me with her manuscript and got very angry with me. She had to download Word and she couldn't figure out how to. She was like, I'm going to throw this book through the window. And I was like, I didn't even get $5 from this book sale. Like, oh my God. It was just such a, but that's the thing that, like,
but it's a lesson of like why people pay money. And again, I do free stuff.
Absolutely.
I do free stuff. And like marketing, that's the kind of the cool way to think about your marketing is, hey, I get to include a bunch of stuff for free that people can learn and do and enjoy. Right. I get to share that with everybody. But then there are people that like, I don't want to go through every post. Give it to me in one book. Great. Or I've got the book, but I'm not going to do it by myself. Right. Okay. I can help. There's different levels. Right. And that's the thing of like, if somebody really can't, unless you sell prescription medicine, which I don't think is anybody's dealing individually. I actually hope not. You know what I mean? Unless you're selling prescription medicine, what you do is not
life-saving.
It's super important, but it is not necessary for life. Right. So if somebody doesn't have $5, they don't really not have $5. If they don't have $5 that badly, that's a good point. They shouldn't probably be prioritizing making a book, Right. If you cannot have $5, and I'm not saying there's times I haven't had $5, but I didn't expect somebody to just give it to me for free. I went, all right, I'm going to have to spend way more time and look it up myself and figure it out myself. Or I'm not going to do this. I need to make money. I'm going to put out more stuff and look for a different, and it's not a shame thing at all. It's not shaming the people, but a lot of times when people ask with stories like that, it's that they aren't actually ready they cannot see $5 worth of value in their own selves. Right. And when that's happening, you can't help them through it for free. And it sucks because you want to, but then you end up like, oh, now I'm getting yelled at for being nice to you.
Yeah. And I think it's the difference between having a business idea and a business plan. If part of your business plan is, as long as I can get all my production for free, or someone will do me a favor, or I can call my brother-in-law, like that's not a business plan. You're not ready. But that doesn't, that's not at all to say you never will be. It just means there's a few more steps you need to invest a little in yourself. And maybe where you come up with the money is everybody has access to it. It's not pie. There's an abundance out there available to everybody. And so I don't ever write anybody off and say, there's no way you can come up with $5. Like, no, I know you could. And I did her a disservice by offering to help for free, because she could have come up with it. And then it's an investment in herself.
It feels awful, doesn't it? It just like, absolutely. Oh my God, I can't even give out a free book. Oh my God, and it's like, but it isn't. It's just, it's not. She could have a friend buy it for her.
Absolutely.
She could look at all, as you even said, you could find all of this information for free. I'm just condensing it so you don't have to. I'm saving you a lot of time. Right. So that's true for everybody. And again, it's just about, just what you do has so much value. So again, if you're, hey, I'm going to give away I'm doing a free book on, one of the like book marketing things as a lead magnet to get people in, because then they're more interested in great. You're doing it for a purpose. I do that free workshop because it's a free sample of what I do. It's like, cool, you get to experience this. And if you like it, you do get something out of it you can use. But if you really like it, then you know where you can pay for more. It's a free cheese sample, so you know where you can pay for more. So it's on purpose. I put stuff in my newsletters so that people want to read it when I do advertise my stuff. Right. So just everything you do is absolutely worth money, and it's worth people finding. It's so worth people finding. And it is so worth getting through the cringe parts to get to where people are reading you. Because even when my newsletter had just like 100 people on it or 77 people on it, it still was exciting that people chose to read my work every week. Even that, so that's why it matters, because finding your own audience is extraordinarily satisfying, and it's not always easy. There's always ups and downs, but there's ups and downs with everything. Yeah. And finally seeing, hey, this stuff that means so much to me is like affecting other people. Yeah. Is just incredible. And you'll probably be like your dentist friend, your hygienist friend, who sometimes at first everybody's got an opinion. Yeah. But then as you start growing, then they come and, do you have anything you could help me with my business?
They're following her now. There's a trend.
They're following her. Yeah.
So, So oh my God, it'll come back to me.
I know, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It was the newsletter currently stands. You have 12,000 subscribers to your newsletter. Is that right? Okay. So it takes time. And I think having that structure, because I've seen a lot of the courses that'll show you how to sell and show you how to market. And it's the language immediately becomes sales funnel. It becomes lead magnet, design your website to do this, this, and this. And it's like, I don't know how to design a website to do that. I don't have there's some programs that will sell you the software to do it. And that's like, email's pretty simple. Like the stuff that you're using is pretty simple, and it's
very simple.
Bro energy. It's not sales funnels. It's not lead magnets. It's not that stuff. It's really accessible, and it's so. And I love how much you've already said about you don't worry about giving a little bit of it away for free. People walk away with something of value, and they get the free seminar, but then there's a paid course that you can sign up for. That I think as far as like when somebody's struggling, you'd send them to a therapist. You'd say, look, having somebody concentrate on your stuff and have a safe space is valuable. It's the same in business. If you don't have somebody, if you're struggling and you don't already know all this stuff, having somebody to be accountable to is so huge. Like just having the group, having other people that you know are going through the same stuff at the same time. They're probably also struggling that week with the first week or whatever, but the next week you're looking forward to it. And by the third week, you're like, you bring in ideas. Like I'm sure there's a flow to it so how often are you going to offer these courses?
So for this one, I'm not 100% sure yet, honestly. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it again super soon, like in June, or if I'm going to wait until August. Okay. So it'll be a few times a year live, and then eventually there'll be a way to do it without the live component. Okay. But so I'm not 100% sure when the next one will be, but it'll certainly be August for the next one at the latest. Yeah. And it's just like, professional basketball players still have private basketball coaches. Absolutely. I think that's my favorite example, because you would, in some ways, you'd be like, what do you need a coach for? You already have a team. You have a coach on the team. You're rehearsing theater. You're rehearsing your plays. You're practicing all but no, this is my job. I want to be super good at it. And even these exceptional people, having somebody else watch what they do makes them better. And so again, I'm not saying, boy, everybody, you got to buy this course right now. No, but I will say, if you're having a hard time with your business or your writing, look into ways you can get support, because it saves you so much time. You will do it instead of thinking about it and going, oh my God. Yeah. It's a trustworthy person.
Yeah. So who is it not for? I know there's a small list of people that you'd recommend it's not for.
Yeah. So you have to have an email an email list. It doesn't matter what size it is. It doesn't even matter if it's 0, but you have to be able to know how to send emails, have an email server set up. So you need to be able to do that. I will say the non-social media part, if you then sell candles, jewelry, if you sell visual stuff or are a visual artist, I can't promise you that you can't use social media.
Of course.
Because I think the visual part of that is just helps so much.
Yeah.
So everything else does work. You could apply it all to your social media, but I can't promise a no social media month for those people.
Yeah.
And
but
then
it's not a social media. It's not focused on social media posts.
It's not like you could not use social media the whole month. All the stuff that like I'm guiding you through and like will be doing is all off social media stuff. So again, I use social media because I'm trying it again, but it's never been the primary way anything has grown for me. And then if you do a brick and mortar store, I just don't have experience with those, so I don't want to promise anything. And if you're just selling one-on-one services where you work with individual clients only, it's not as helpful for that. But if you're selling courses or have a newsletter, something you want to grow a bigger audience, then it works for that.
I know there was a lot in there too about writers, that you helped writers find how to help them pitch stories and get bylines and things like that too.
Yeah. That's what I used to. That's how all my stuff started, was just kind of doing freelance writing. So that's still a piece of also just like, some ways to get publicity is to pitch a story and be published. I've had lots of people published. I mean, I like myself, I'm like, I can't even believe it sometimes, because it's like the New York Times, the New Yorker, Canadian papers, the Guardian, San Francisco Gate, the LA Times, like every Wall Street Journal, Washington Post. It's crazy.
Have you been in all those?
No, those are where my students have been in.
Okay, but still, that's really impressive.
That's where they've gotten into.
Yeah,
I've been in the New York Times is my fanciest. I've written them for a ton of other places, but that's where my students have gotten into, and lots of them without like
that's
that
a big
kind
swing.
of writing experience.
That's a big swing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So we will cover a tiny bit of that, of like options for, hey, you could pitch them in a Business Insider or Huffington Post like fairly easily that might align with your business. Yeah. It's just a different way.
And so it seems like a very good program for writers and authors and people that have books, which, I mean, the scope of the people that I've worked with so far, what their books are about, are so vastly different, and how they do their marketing is pretty impressive to see how when they believe in themselves and they believe that their book is a service, how they creatively find ways to post and share and email lists and things like that. It's impressive. And so, but it would be ideal for writers and authors, right? Yeah,
definitely. So definitely more, if you're just trying to get freelance jobs, it's less good. But if you have a book and you are promoting your book, or you have future books, absolutely. Like 100%. And it's about, again, having a structure. So you're not just like, what am I going to do? You have a structure, but there's still fluidity in it. You get to choose what you want to do. You get to see some different options. Yeah. And again, it is led by what's often the shortcut is like, what's the weirdest way to do it? Yeah. Simply so that your creative mind thinks first before that logical bro-filtered brain has a chance to take it over. Yeah. And you'll find usually what you think is way too weird is absolutely not.
Probably perfect.
Which we saw in the workshop for sure. It's usually like, wow, that's actually so cool. Please share that immediately.
So earlier tonight when I was thinking about what I was going to ask you and stuff, it was such a funny thing, because I was like, wait, she's an actress. And I have a friend in Tennessee who's an actress as well. She's from Canada. And she listens to the podcast, and she listens to it sometimes with her kids in the van. So we kept it so clean, and I know she'll be listening. So she knows who she is. But I have these ideas sometimes of like those videos where somebody's, it's a script, but there's like, they shoot it in separate things and then somebody splices it all together so they seem like they're talking back and forth. And so earlier I was like, I could see us doing, I have a script already sketched out in my mind where we have a character sitting on the couch going, like finishing his book, I got a typewriter there from the 70s, and like he finishes his book and he's like, oh, I'm done. Like, I don't know what to do next. And then we just go back and forth with, if I just had somebody to tell me, like, I don't want to have to think. I don't want to Google anything. If I just had someone to prompt me, and it would just match so well with the course that you had coming up. It was like, but like a little Amber on her shoulder going, why don't you just try this? Just be ridiculous. It was so, anyway, just so that you know that talking to you triggered so much creativity, and I'm so excited for all this, and like I'm just so excited. I was so excited to meet you.
I'm so glad.
And so glad the internet, the algorithm figured out that you're just what I needed at exactly the right time. Was like chef's kiss. It was perfect. Yay. So how do people find you? Tell me where's the best way to find your course, and how to sign up for your newsletter, and how to get you on socials and all those places.
Yeah. So if you want to sign up for that Creative Control Club, that's free. And I do Telegram. It's so Telegram's just an audio text platform. So it's kind of like a private podcast where I just give, kind of marketing insights sometimes. I sometimes offer like free short calls in there sometimes, or Q&As. So if you go to amberpetty.com/club, you can sign up for that, and then you'll also get on my email list. And then for the course itself, it is amberpetty.com/way. You can find that, and I'm Amber N Petty, and like Nicole, because Amber Petty was taken. Amber N Petty at Instagram. And if you want to watch that, workshop we're talking about, I can send you that YouTube link directly.
So I have that.
I don't know you have it. Great.
Yeah, I have that, and I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put it in the description. Absolutely.
Yeah. Feel free. And if you don't find it, just reach out to me, and I can, it's just, you don't even have to sign up. You just watch it on YouTube. So we have a website where we put show notes, and then we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, all the platforms. Right. And so we'll put it in all the show notes. We'll have the link to the class that we're talking about, the workshop that we did together this week, which is where we met. And then please, I definitely encourage everybody to follow along. And so one little tip, if you're one of those people that's like, this is a life lesson. If there's something you don't like, you can scroll past it. You can just, if you think it's too many emails that day, you don't have to read them all. Amber Petty is not going to send you CPR instructions. It's not going to be, you're not going to get through today with it's okay. It'll you don't have to read every single one of them, but they're so helpful. And the stuff you post is brilliant. And is it for everybody? I don't know. I have no idea. And that's the point. There's lots of people, it would either be like, you're really annoying and you swear too much, and why are you dressed like this, and you got a weird face. And that's okay. Like, I hate your glasses. Well, nobody hates my glasses. I do have great glasses. But that's the point. That's inevitable. That's you're not for everybody. It's if you're for everybody, you're for nobody. That's an old thing, but it's true. Yeah. And I'm very for the people that like it. And that's what I try to lean into more and more and more. And I'll just tell you, if you're scared of that, but if I'm too weird or whatever, in my life, and I mess it up too. But every time I've leaned more into, I just use pinup pictures for my professional photos for my website. Got more people to sign. Every weirder choice has made it better. And even if it's the thing of you wrote a song and it didn't make sales, but it made you excited to show up. It made you excited to do your work and be in public. That's worth it. Because that just means it extended the life of your business even longer. Right. And then who knows, that song could come in handy, and who knows what else in the future. So anyway,
even if it's just a little side note, when you're doing a workshop and you say, I wrote a song about that thing, maybe that's all in life.
Whoa,
what?
That's so cool. So I do. So just lean. I know it's scary, but I am definite proof. And you can see I'm not famous or anything, but I make good money and get to live a cool life.
I'm not famous either, but I have it on my shirt. It's on my shirt.
Yeah, that's right.
I have these shirts that I give to people all the time. It's just because if you're a writer, someone said, I can't believe it's written on my chest. So you feel good about it. It doesn't need to be true. And eventually it could be true. We're living our dreams. So it's okay to be silly and 7 years old. Because when you're 7, you don't care. You just want to love people and you want to be seen. And it's just, there's unabandoned, what's that, wild abandon. You don't care what people think. And you just love life. And getting back to that is the healthiest path for everybody. It's what we all need more. We all need more Amber Petty in our lives. I'm so glad we met.
Whenever you do that, it lights up somebody else too. So every time you show up, up publicly that way, you made somebody's life better.
I see it like those circuit boards that like, I don't know. I don't even know who uses them, but it's like when there's a current, like the light will light up across the board. And when one sparks, like fireflies. Like, can you imagine being the first firefly, like that didn't know and was like, what's wrong with my ass? Like, oh my God. And then it looks across the field and there's another one across the field and they go, oh, and it's the most beautiful thing in the world when they all light up, when they light each other up. So I just love that. I love the idea of sparking stuff in each other and encouraging each other. And so thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been, I could talk to you all day long. Come back anytime. Like it's yours. And so if you were wondering why I called it Are You Mad at Me? It's 100% related to that cringe of,
oh yes,
like I posted about my book. Why didn't you buy it? And then my next question is, and I'm not mad. It's, are you mad at me? Did I do something? Like,
are you mad at me?
Did I offend you by my, like, is there something about it that you, like, did I do something wrong? And like, so it's a facetious kind of, I'm working on it. I'm getting to care less and less if people are mad at me. And sometimes I kind of try to get, under people's skin a little tiny bit. But it's nice. It's kind of fun to know sometimes people are watching that or just kind of keeping notes. But the majority of people, the people that have been watching this podcast they're writing their own books. They're working on their own businesses. They're working on their own marketing. And I know like they're starting off small. And when they send me emails telling me about their wins or like, I tried this today or I started my YouTube channel today, it makes me so happy to see that. And so I wanted to share you with the people who've been listening to Are You Mad at Me, because you're such a resource. And sign up for the free stuff. And if you can possibly swing it, sign up for the course that you're doing, because it's going to change your life. That having that accountability, it's not just the marketing tips, it's the community. Learning that there's other people going through the same stuff, and you don't know who you're going to meet in the course, where maybe there's services that you're both working together, or you could meet up and do, like, who knows?
Like that happens a lot in my other stuff, you know? Yep. So it's like, it's the whole community. You're not alone. And it's like changes the way you think about this forever.
And that'll last forever.
That makes it so much easier. There'll still be hard parts, but you know, it really makes it a lighter lift, which means more people are going to see your stuff and buy it.
And if we could have found it 25 years ago, even better, but at least we found it now. We can start fresh from today. And but you can have and it's not, yes, the money is going to be great, but having that connection and realizing that the things you're making and providing are in other people's hands and making their lives better too is just magic.
It's huge.
So the magic is there, and I'm really glad you're doing what you're doing. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for being on the podcast. And I'm sure we will be in touch again. That book, call your mom and ask her where that book is, because it's in your house somewhere. I'll buy the first copy, because it's going to be, I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, Amber, very, very much for being on Are You Mad at Me? And this has been great. Thanks for listening, everybody. And I'm Vickie Morgan, and it has been such a pleasure, and we'll see you next week.